Hey, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. A little strange twist there with Light a Fire by Chris DeBerg, yelling and screaming that you need to light a fire and get your posterior in gear and get out there and get involved. Bob Chapman has said it many times over the last several months to get involved because we need to get out here and have this investigation of the Federal Reserve. They're actually squirming. Trying to put this little fire out, but it's not going to go. They only need, i.e., 5 more congressmen to get this thing out of committee. So get off your duff, do something. Call your congressman and find out if your congressman has signed on to sponsor this bill to investigate the Federal Reserve, and if they haven't, find out why. And if they have, kudos. Let it be known that you support him, that you give him pats on the back for looking out for what you feel needs to be done. Otherwise, you might find yourself standing there like some of the Swedes are doing out there and are looking in at the Latvian crisis that could spill over and have a negative effect on Sweden, as the Swedish banks are heavy into the exposure of the Baltic trio, formerly Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia, and they are the wild cards out there. And what's going to happen if Latvia, the Latvian crisis gets worse? They've actually had major riots over there, but you don't see them in the newspapers here in America. It's like the powers to be, they don't want you to know the truth, and that's very obvious when you look at this New York Times article that was posted on my News and Views today, as I was just advised that she read the article on my News and Views just before the show. So go out there and check it out for yourself. And then you might want to give Bob Chapman a phone call or an email. Let him know that you're listening to the show. Give him some thanks. If nothing else, send Bob Chapman an email and say thank you for coming on Marines Disquisition Hour and to pass the truth out there around the world. Mr. Chapman would like for you to come back in here and give us your insight, particularly on Bulgaria and Romania and the problems they're having over there through their microeconomic vulnerabilities with Latvia and Lithuania.
Well, it's basically a financial problem. What's that?
I'm sorry. Larissa was drowning me out with the music, and I knew it wasn't going out on your end, but I couldn't hear you.
Oh, those problems are financial. The heart of the matter is they made loans in Swiss francs, and the Swiss franc has gone up against their local currencies, which they have to convert into Swiss francs to, let's say, pay their mortgage, and they can't do it. And so there were a number of banks in Western Europe that were involved, Swedish, Danish, Austrian banks are big in that area, and there were some Swiss banks. And so what they have to do is get the financial problems sorted out. Ukraine's in the same boat as well, and the IMF has gone in there and lent them money. But, you know, some of these countries are so extended in their loans, I don't know whether they can solve it without bankruptcy. We'll see. I know that the Swedish bank said yesterday that they were prepared to fund the losses in Latvia, but I don't know about the rest of the countries. It's a major problem, and it could lead to a horrible European depression. I mean, they're on the edge of depression, if not in depression already, and this would even make it worse. You know, make it look like Europe during the 1920s and 30s. And so it's not a good situation. I don't report too much on it because most people don't pay attention. But I'm going to have to start doing more reporting if they have to devalue their currencies, which I think they will.
Well, in getting back into the United States, Lisa in Seattle, she says, Mr. Chapman, what do you see with the United States bond yields in the trading of the bond yields? Is there really some concern, or is it just some more hype out there on the 10-year Treasury notes?
Well, it's really concern. It's caused by the U.S. Treasury and the Federal Reserve creating and lending $14.8 trillion. That's a colossal figure. And the Federal Reserve is and will continue to monetize debt of the U.S. Treasury, the agencies, which is Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and FHA, etc. And they're also buying toxic waste, which are collateralized debt obligations, from banks so that they'll have liquidity. And of course, what they're buying, the Fed, they're losing money on. Most of them are long-term commitments, which is really a disaster for them. And they lost $5 billion in the first quarter, and that's just for openers. The situation with interest rates in the free market, or a market that can't be controlled, I'll put it that way, bond market in America is 10 times as big as the stock market, dollar-wise. In the foreign exchange market, they trade $4 trillion a day. Most people don't know that unless you're in the business. And so what's happening here is foreigners who've got lots of dollars, 64.5% of their foreign exchange are in dollars. That's where they lend America money. They buy treasuries and other things. And so what's going on now is that foreigners are saying, gee, the dollar's going to go down, and we don't want to be in the dollar, so they start selling their bonds. When you sell the bonds go down, but the yields go up. And that's why the yields are up on U.S. treasuries, bills, notes, and bonds. And so, at the same time, because of this profligate spending, the dollar's going down. And eventually the economy will go down. I mean, it's already gone down. It'll go deeper. And the stock market will come down. The only thing that's going to hold its own or make money is gold and silver related assets. It is the worst of all worlds. I just wrote about it again this morning. I have a paragraph here, and it's not very long, but I'll read it to you. And it really more concisely answers the question, and that is,